Hello everyone, I'm Joanne. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to have so much fun putting together this little box, and I'm going to put the little dancing grim on it. Now these are a new release from Spellbinders. I am an affiliate. If you click on the links below and place an order, I do receive a small commission, and that's at no cost to you. I really do appreciate you guys clicking on my links and keeping me going here in retirement. I really love it. First we're going to make the little box. This is stinking cute. Look at how he dances. Now, I did this really simply because the main thing, I want to show you a different way to attach the head. And then the main thing is really to make the box. Because this box right here is fantastic. Look, it can fit like 3 of these little candies in it. This is one of the, the fun size. So it could fit like 3 of them in here. Also, just because I did this is so stinky. I can't stop making the thing go back and forth. But it's great for now, Halloween. But this is a great box for a craft fair, okay? And you put some candies in it, or you might even do like a little gift card in here. You could put jewelry in it. This is a fantastic box for multiple everything's, okay? So you might want to just keep these dimensions, and I've used this box many times. I've used this style. So let's go ahead, and I've already got some things cut. We'll have to do a little scoring, though I want to do the scoring with you. Now here's the pieces that come in the set. So his little face, and I call this a sickle. I really don't know what the thing is called, but I also did the blade on it in silver cardstock, and then I'm going to put the white on the bottom of it. So I thought that would be a little bit cool on this one, but we'll put that together in just a few minutes. So that's a lot of fun. But here's all your little sets, and or what's in this set. And there's 2 others. There's the, let's see, I have the other girl. This is the Dancing Girl of the Dead. She's a lot of fun too. I did a card with her. I don't have it here because I took it over to the shop, so where they sell my cards now, and I'm really happy for that when they do get sold. So let's talk about these pieces of paper. So you need 2. I'm using solid cardstock. If you use cardstock that has like a print on it that's thinner, be very careful scoring it because you could rip it, but I like to use a solid cardstock for this. You can also emboss it. You can stamp on it first, like this little, the band, this one right here that goes around it. Right here. So if you didn't want to put any paper on it, you could do a lot of things to the front of this, but you could do it to the whole thing, and then it would wrap around and all be decorated. So that's another thing. But okay, so let's see, this piece is 4.5 by 6, and this one, the 4.5 by 6, we're going to score it on all sides at 1. This is a very simple box to put together. Then we need another piece at 7 3/4 by 4. This will score at 1.5, 2.5, 5, and 6. I've put all of these measurements at the beginning of this video for you guys. Then I have a piece of I just used some black and white paper that I had, 2.25 by 3.25, 2.25 by 3.25, and that's going to go on the top. The inside of the box, I wanted to tell you, was 2.5 by 4. Yeah, 2.5 by 4. So that's a really nice little size, right? Okay. Let me move these things out of the way, and now we're going to score. So let's just take this one right here. That is the 4.5 by 6. It doesn't matter where you start at the top, whatever side that you want to put on the top, because all 4 of these sides are scored at 1 inch. And that's what I'm doing. I'm using my 1 inch on this side. Sometimes it's a little hard to see the gray, but I really wanted the gray because he is the Grim. And I thought it went really well with that purple anyway. Okay, so that's 1 inch on each side. I'm going to go down that one a little bit more, make it a little bit more predominant. There we go. And I could probably see it better to cut it. Okay. Now for this one, put the 7 3/4 at the top, score at 1 1/2, 2.5, 5, and 6. That's it. That's all you have to do. So simple. Okay, now whenever you do a box, use your bone folder. Okay, so I'm going to just, this is the top. I'm just going to come through here and just fold these on the score lines. And like I said, whenever, ever you do a box, always use a bone folder to get everything nice and crisp so that it all, you know, lays nice and flat. Isn't that nice? Okay, let's put that aside. Now, this is the bottom of the box. Before I score it, I like to cut. Some people like to score first and then cut. I like to cut first. So on this side where we have the 4.5 inches, okay, I'm going to cut up these score lines right here. Okay, so I'm not coming in from the side. I'm coming from the bottom up. Then I'm going to take a little chunk out of that tab so it lays in there really easy for me to glue it down. So right there, and then I'm just going to come up there, take a chunk out of that tab. Now I'm just going to flip it over to where I still have the 4.5 inches, and we're going to go up, not from the side, but up. And then just taking that little chunk out, right? Now you can stop the video if you want to and catch up with me, or you might already be caught up with me. I don't think I go too fast sometimes. But a lot of times, you know, I have things already prepared where you guys don't. Okay, now I'm going to use my bone folder, and I'm going to get these ends nice and crisp, the sides and the ends. I like to fold one at a time and really get it, I mean, like a really good crease. Okay. Now, you can use any kind of glue that you want. I'm just going to use some liquid glue. So I'm just going to hold this too while it sets. I just put it together nice and square, and I have learned I must have patience. You hear me telling myself that, have patience. Let it set, let the glue set. I just fold the tab down, it's very easy. You know, when you're filming, it's like, okay, the next step, but yeah, you just have to wait and get this nice, because you know, this is like the bottom of the box. This is how everything will sit nice, and especially if you're doing craft fair, you really want these to look nice. So simple to put together. You could stick a movie on, put some football on, and you could sit and make a ton of these boxes. And then, like I said, you know, in any color, you could decorate it with anything you want. Santa, Christmas tree, the little Grimm, any pumpkins, Halloween, leaves, let's see, flowers, unicorns, little bears, everything. You could do everything. Everything with this little box. Just change the color and change, you know, what you're doing there. Okay. Now I'm very happy. See how nice that sits? It really does. See, and it's nice and flat. And see where we creased it? It's really, really good. Okay, now let's go ahead and put our paper on here now. Just gonna give that a little extra. And I cut this down to where there's a little, you know, border of paper around it. This is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. So 2 1/4 this way, 3 3/4 that way. Okay, now I like to do that because, especially with solid paper, so that I can kind of see it a little bit better, you know, putting it around here. Now, you don't want your box to be tight in here, okay? But you want it to be snug. Now, I do like to take, before we do this, I like to take one end, just pick whichever end you want to be the front, and I take a circle punch, and I chunk that out right there. That is not necessary if you don't have a punch. You really can't run it through a die. You about have to have a punch, but it's not necessary, okay? It just makes a little tab for your person that you give it to just pull it out with, right there, okay? Just like that, after we get this nice and glued together. So I keep the box together. I keep the bottom in there. I just line that up. Now you can use tear and tape. I'm just going to use some liquid glue. And I'm just going to wrap that around. I'm going to let that sit just like that. And come around my box. I like that liquid glue because it gives me that wiggle room. See, I had to push it in a little bit so that it looked nice, right? Doesn't that look good? That is fantastic. Fantastic. Let's see. Can we get our little fingers in there without ripping it apart? Because I probably have not let the glue dry enough. Maybe I glued it together. Did I glue it together? No. Okay. There we go. It's just going to slide. I just had to get a hold of it. There we go. That's wonderful. Okay. Now, let's put our little guy together here. And then I'm going to show you how to easily, a little bit easier to attach. You remember on my cards I did a brad, okay? This we're going to do something different. So here's the little body. And this little white piece right here is like a cuff. And this little point goes right here. See how that matches up? There is like a little indentation in there of like embossed line right there. And then this just matches up right there. Very easy. It's like putting a little puzzle together. Small puzzle, very small puzzle. One of my biggest nightmares. When I was putting that box together, I was like, watch, when I get on camera, I'm not going to be able to open it. Cute, okay? Now we're going to take one of these, and his little head has these on it. Okay? I throw away the eyes and the nose, but these two right here are like the hands and the feet. So this one, I like to have a little thumb. So I kind of like put it behind here and just kind of hide it back there. And I like it to have like a little part of the thumb. You could get it going either way. That one's kind of pointed down. Let's get this one. This one's pointed up. So I will just glue that back there. Like that. I like it up. Okay? So let's do that. And I mean, anything, either way, you know, nothing's wrong, okay? It's just like his little white gloves. That's all that is. Isn't that cute? You can see it coming together, right? Okay, now these little guys, of course, his feet, I don't want him to have one big toe pointing out, okay? So that's where I point that up. And now I use the round part of this to make his little feet or socks or whatever he's got on there. So cute. And you can make them just barely sticking out, or, you know, however that you want. Oh my goodness, isn't that adorable? Isn't that so sweet? Okay, now let me put that aside, and now let me work with its little face. So this black piece, and then the hood, and then the face, okay? I go ahead and glue the face on. This is the easiest one, really and truly, to put together. I find him, though, so cute. I love his little sickle. Cute. I think that's what that's called. I don't know, but that's what I'm going to call it. But you know what I'm talking about. Then this goes right here in the center, and you can see there's a point here, and it goes right down into, there's a little embossing, and you'll see it, okay? Sometimes with dark cardstock you can't see it too much, but it's right there. So that's good. Now let's put this little thing together. So this part has a large top, and that matches up perfectly. This has a smaller bottom and a larger top, so that top matches up perfectly. I'm just going to place this right here. And you could actually leave it like that if you wanted to. I like to put this on it it defines it. And you know, you could do it the other way. You could do this part in white and then this part in silver. Or you could even do this part in red. Right? And that in silver. That would look pretty cool. Whoop. I didn't put enough glue on that. I needed to come down that just a little bit. That's why I'm working on this little mat, because I just cleaned my glass mat and I was like, oh, I want it to get yucky with glue. Okay, now I'm going to put this right here, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball it with my finger there, and just like he's holding it. So cute. Then I have some rhinestones here. I'm just going to give him some, well, you know what? Let's put his head on first, and then we'll put the buttons on. Okay. Now that we're to the head part of it, we'll get our little box, close it up. Isn't that sweet? Look at that. I love that. That really came out well. I was afraid at first. I was like, oh Lord, I've glued it together. But I didn't. So it came out really, really cute. I'm happy with it. Okay, so now what we want to do, and we want this to swing. I'm going to take one of my square foam dots. You could take whatever size, you know, that fits inside there. Some people have been cutting out paper, but this is really the easiest thing to do. Now you might have the ones that are like a dimensional from Stampin' Up, and they already have, or a round one, you know, but I don't have a round one, and I'm out of those others. I've used those all up. So I'm just going to cut my edges off of here, okay, off of this square one, that's all. I'm just going to make my own, right? I'm just going to cut these off, just the corners, because what we're trying to do is to get this to fit inside of there, and we will. Right there, okay? Now, I have this right here. I like my placement, and I'm going to put this right here in the center, and I'm going to take that tab off. Just leave that right there in that center. And now, we're just going to, see, this is going to swing free. We'll wait and see. And now we're just going to take his little head and put it right there, push it down onto that foam, okay? And now look what happens. Just with a foam dot. And he swings, he dances. Isn't that adorable? Oh my gosh. And it does a better job than the brad. When I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, I've got to pass that on. So that is how I suggest that you attach these things, with a little bit of foam. Isn't that cute? Okay, let's put some, his little cape just needs a little, or cloak, whatever it's called. He needs a little bling. You always have to have a little bit of bling, right? So this is probably something I might make for my 4-year-old grandson. Today was his first day of school. So this might be his Halloween for his class. And then my daughter gets the candy and puts it in it. So that's really, really cute. And there he is, as cute as can be. Of course, spiders and anything else that you can think of that to go around this little box, I think would be adorable. But here we are. Ta-da! And he swings, and it was that not so easy with the little pop dot? So, you know, there's round ones, there's square ones. Just figure it out how it can fit in the center. And here we are. A nice little candy box using our Dancin Grim. And of course you could use any one that you want. I just happen to be a little partial to him. That's all. So this is my favorite one that I like. So they're all cute, but everybody has their fave. This is my fave. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. I hope you make this little box.